Hey everybody, what's going on? Hey Scat, what's good? Hope you guys are having fun over on the new Cookie Craft, even though it's kind of just vanilla right now. But I needed a break. I've been working hard on Minecraft 2 here. Or Minecraft. Oh my goodness, my brain is fried. I've been up like all night, been working all day trying to get all this stuff done. But yeah, I've been working on Cookie Craft 2. And yeah, I need a break, so I decided to do a live stream. And I'm gonna just do a tier list of all my Steam games that I have. And so I don't know if anyone's gonna stick around to watch or not, but this is a mental health break for me. But yeah, check it out. So of course here's the spawn. Most people have already seen this already, but what I'm working on right now is I don't even know the job system. That's gonna be all different. We got this junk buyer here. Different monsters are gonna drop junk items. So like this is something that drops from what does this drop from? Oh, chickens. A cracked beak, and you can take items like this to the junk buyer and sell those, and that'll actually be a way that like a valid way to make money is people can farm stuff like that. So that's what I'm working on, making different items, getting lore for that, and just going through making sure plugins work for 1.20. But yeah, that's my life right now. Anyway, here we go. I started playing on Steam back in 2005, and I somehow accumulated 179 different games. And out of all of these, I probably play about 4 or 5 games out of 179. And so I just was kind of by myself going through game by game, rating them in my mind if I would ever play them again. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just get on a stream and I'll do a tier list from S to F of some of the best games and the worst games that I own on Steam. And this is like, I don't know, 12, 14 years of accumulating games. I just spent a bunch of money buying stupid add-ons for games I haven't even played yet. Why does Steam have so many I hate Steam sales. I go broke every Steam sale. I really want to play Diablo 4, but I can't give Blizzard $70. They've already had enough of my money. So I'm going to wait for that to go on sale. But no, yeah, I get it. All right, so 179 games. So I guess the only reason that any sane person would watch this is to maybe, I'm going to talk about some of these games and recommend some. So maybe you're trying to find something new. I've played a lot of things over the years. Or, I don't know, just for interest's sake, to see where I rate some of your favorite games, I guess. So let's go. Let's start from the top. 179 games. Let's just start from number 1. I doubt I'll get all of this done. First one is 7 Days to Die. Let's put that over in the list. 7 Days to Die. Claims are coming. Those are coming very soon, actually. Probably tonight. But we have to make a way to make money so that claims will make sense. 7 Days to Die is a lot like Minecraft. Has anybody actually played this game on the chat? Your buddy just got it and he's begging you to buy it. What? Oh, Diablo? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not hearing great things about it. I'm hearing it's just like Diablo 3 with better graphics, and I didn't like Diablo 3. 7 Days to Die, it's kind of like a Minecraft, but with zombies, and every 7 days, there's just hordes of zombies will attack wherever you are, and so you have to build a base. It's kind of cool. There's servers. I've thought about hosting servers for 7 Days to Die. It's just like Minecraft with guns. There's voxels and blocks and everything. It's pretty cool. I'd totally put that. I'm going to put that in the C tier. I have about 5 hours on it. Totally C tier. 7 Days to Die. Yeah, I agree. C. Age of Empires 2. Come on. That's Age of Empires 2. I have fond memories of. But what I have more fond memories of is a game called Empire Earth, which was like a clone of Age of Empires 2 that would take you from the Stone Age all the way to the Nano Age and like the Futuristic Age. So I like Age of Empires 2. I like Empire Earth more. But yeah, I mean, this is an A tier game. I mean, no one's gonna debate that. Age of Empires 2 is awesome. You love Cookie Craft? Awesome. Good, I'm glad that you're playing. You have 7 Days to Die. Did you put much playtime into it? I probably have 5 hours into it. Noah, how did you find out about Cookie Craft? Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. I got this when it first came out, like in 2006. I had cancer as a kid, and so Make-A-Wish bought me an Alienware computer. It was like a $7,000 gaming PC. So when I was a teenager, when I was like 16, 17, I played everything. I had all the games. They like loaded me up with games. And so when this came out, I had a PC that could run it at max settings. And I played the crap out of it. That being said, it's a very forgettable Age of Empires, and I think I'm going to put this in the C tier too. It's going in the C tier. Sorry. I haven't played 4 yet, by the way. Cookie isn't a game, it's a server. It's a game within a server. Age of Wonders 3. I'm going to skip the games I've put no time into, because I've never played that. Air Mech Strike, I've never played that. APB Reloaded, never played that. So I'm just going to stick with the games that I've played. Aperture Desktop. So this is a game exclusively for the Steam Deck, which if you don't have that, I'd recommend selling. If you have a Switch, sell it. If you have a PlayStation, sell it. Sell all your consoles and get a Steam Deck, because the Steam Deck can play everything. And so this is like a 30-minute game. It's pretty great. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I mean, it's more cinematic than a game, but it's kind of great. I like Aperture Desktop. I wish they'd expand on it. Apex Legends. I have 2 minutes in that game. I'm passing. Ark Survival Evolved. This is like a Rust with dinosaurs. Most of you probably know what this is or have played it. I wasn't a fan. I played it a lot. I didn't like the graphics. They just made... I didn't like anything about this game. I didn't like it. I preferred Rust. Doesn't mean it's not a good game. I'm putting it in the C tier. Sorry. That might make some people mad. Arma 2. Before Arma 3, there was Arma 2. It's profound, right? And this is where DayZ came from. DayZ was originally an Arma 2 mod, and I played that, and I had a lot of fun. And there was a lot of game modes and stuff. I'm going to put Arma 2 in the B tier, because it was great for its time. The issue with it today is there's so many hacks. Now, it's going to get bumped down, because it's not even, like, supported. If I can bump it down, how can I bump you down? So it's not even supported by anything anymore. It's getting bumped down. But it was a great game for its time. It was an A tier for its time. Arma 3. Arma 3, why you would get this game is because there's Arma Life, which if you watch like the Grand Theft Auto Life mods, I forgot what it's called exactly, but like it's all over Twitch, the Life servers. There's an Arma 3 version of that called Altus Life. There's also Arma 3 Life, which is pretty fantastic, and it's easy to join. You just open up Arma and join it, and it's a lot of fun. I don't know how active it is anymore, but a few years ago it was great. I'm gonna put Arma 3. I'm gonna put it between the B and the C tier, because I don't know the state of it today, but it was a pretty great game. I mean, for what I played, all I played was the modded servers. I'm playing it currently. It is relentless. You don't know survival until you hit Ark. Really? So you're playing that right now? Ark is S. Maybe I need to revisit it, because I haven't played it since like a year that it came out. I'm going to keep it in the C for me, but maybe I'm trying to find a game that I own that I need to revisit. So maybe that'll be the revisit list. I need a list for that, but whatever. Awesome Knots. I have 612 hours in this game. Little known game, 2D, but it's so freaking fun. It's a platformer Dota or like League of Legends, but it's platformer, and it's so well made. Like, everything's fluid. The combat is a lot of fun. I'm totally addicted to this game. I don't play anymore. I'm actually globally banned because I would troll and smack talk so much that they gave me a permanent mute. And I'm not allowed to talk in any chat channels in the game anymore because I would smack talk so bad. Yes, stealing is a rule. You can't steal. The rules of Cookie Craft 1 apply to Cookie Craft 2. So yeah, just report them. Hey Sai, Isn't DX like banned already? I wonder how they got it in. All right, so Awesome Nuts for me is an S tier. I highly recommend. It's probably not very populated anymore, but 600 hours, anything like that's going to go in the S tier for me. Batman Arkham City. Yeah, it's great. I'm playing this on the Steam Deck right now. I've had it since it released, and I never played it. Game of the Year edition. I'd put this in... Yeah, it's a C tier game. You feel like Batman. Big Screen Beta. This is more software, but if you have a VR headset, you have to have this because you can... There's basically rooms set up where you can have your VR headset on, join rooms where like 16 other people who you don't know are all in a room in their VR headset, like in a movie theater, watching shows, Transformers, MMA games. It's pretty great. If you have a VR headset, this is a B tier for me. And you can screen share. So if you have big screen, you can share your computer screen with people, which is pretty cool. Zoom in on that. Black Desert, I never played it. It's in my thing. Borderlands 2. People love Borderlands. It's like a big deal for people, but I hate this game. I just don't think I like looter shooters. Yeah, put in a ticket. Isn't he banned from the server anyway? So... I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. Does anyone like Borderlands 2? To me, it feels so overrated, and I've given it so many chances. I've tried to play it 3, 4, 5 times, and I never liked it. I'm putting it in the D tier for me. It's just, I don't think it's my style of game, and I do the same with Borderlands 1. Ark is good. It's hard, and you actually have to take your time and think. If you just, if you just want to run and think you're going to kill something, you're dead. You need to think about your decision. I actually have a server in Ark, but it's only small and there's only a few players. Just waste of time. DX is banned for 1 year. Okay, well, let me... If he's going to be that kind of way, we can ban him from Cookie too as well. So... Ay, ay, ay. Everything's so laggy for me. Yeah, this guy's kind of toxic, right? Okay. All right. Do I have Hogwarts Legacy? No. I'm going to wait for the sale. I feel like Hogwarts is going to be a game that I'm going to like. But I'll probably put like 10, 15 hours in it. It just seems like a game I'm going to play through, beat it, and I'm never going to revisit it. So I don't want to pay $60 for it. Borderlands 2 had its glory 10 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sergeant, like, have you played Rust? Because it sounds like just like Rust. And when I played it, it was like Rust with dinosaurs. And in the future. And with skills. It actually, it's more like has RPG elements. I played Rust like in the first version. They actually reprogrammed Rust from the ground up. I played the very first version in like 2013. I preferred the first version. It was amazing. I don't know. I'll revisit Ark. Maybe I'll play on your server. Brawlhalla. It's saying I don't have any hours on this, but I know I do. It's like a Super Smash Brothers. Free to play. The issue is all the characters have the same exact controls. And so it's kind of monotonous, and I think this is like an E tier game for me. But it is free, which is nice. Breath of Death, I never really played. Call of Duty 4. It says I have 4 minutes in it, but man, I played this in 2006 for hours. Hours, man. This game was great for its time, or maybe 2007. Campaign was amazing. For its time, it was kind of like revolutionary. I'm going to put Call of Duty 4. This is a solid C tier for today's standard. Was like S tier for its time, for sure. You love the game. Took you 80 hours to finish. Really? 80 hours to finish Hogwarts. Wow, maybe I need to visit it. Chained Echoes. I'm a big JRPG fan. I have been my whole life. I've played everything. All the Final Fantasies, just about. Chrono Trigger. I'm working on beating Chrono Cross. I'm about to start on Legends of Dragoon. There's a lot of games I missed growing up because I couldn't afford them. So now I'm like revisiting them. Chained Echoes was made by one man. It's a JRPG style game made by one man. He did like everything, the graphics, the music, the story. It's amazing as far as the gameplay, but I had to quit. I'm like 4 or 5 hours in and I can't proceed any further. I love it to death, but the writing is so cringy that when I'm playing and I'm just reading the story, which is like the best part of a JRPG, the story's great, but the writing is so cringy that I couldn't finish it. I had to stop. So this is like a D tier for me. Like I wouldn't recommend it. I'm never going to finish it. I'm not going to play it. Someone out there is going to love it. But for me, I'm very sensitive to writing. And if the writing's not good, I can't do it. Chivalry. Medieval Warfare. This is like a Call of Duty with swords and bows and arrows. And I know there's like Chivalry 2 now, which is way better. And so if you're going to play it, get that one. This is like a D tier game for me. Because just get 2. That's probably what I'm going to visit next. You're thinking about making a new character and playing more evil style. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a great game. Chrono Cross. My favorite game of all time is Chrono Trigger. This is the sequel. And then they did a remaster last year, which was a disaster. They've since fixed it. It's an amazing game. It's amazing. This is an A tier for me if you like JRPGs. If you don't, you're going to hate it. It's from the 90s, so it's not going to be for everybody. But it's a beautiful game. A tier for me. Chrono Trigger. Super Nintendo game. I mean, if you haven't played Chrono Trigger, even if you hate JRPGs, you need to give this game a shot. Beautiful game, wonderful game, amazing story, amazing combat. It's not like Final Fantasy where there's random encounters. It is amazing. Chrono Trigger, this is an S tier for me. I've probably beat it about 13 times. No, I'm not going to unban him. That guy is kind of toxic. I don't want the old cookie crowd that we banned, that we weeded out. All those people need to go because they were just bad news for the whole server. I don't want any of them back. We're going to regrow. I'm going to put some marketing out there. We're going to have a lot. We're probably going to have a few thousand people join at least one time before the end of the year. So we're going to have new players. And if people want to stick around, they can. If they need to move on, they need to move on. But no, he's part of the problem of the old community. You used to play Rust a lot, but you like Ark more. Rust felt basic. You had spots to loot and everywhere. Yeah, I think I agree with that. But Ark, you have to go build your... Yeah. I think I'd probably like Ark. Build your gear, your base, around the map, survive different weather types, more fun. Yeah. You convinced me. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to replay it. Because I haven't played. When was the last time I played? I wonder if it shows. I wonder if I could play it on the Steam Deck. 2016 was the last time I played. So I imagine it's a lot better. And especially if it has more depth. Alright, City Skyline. Yep. I've been a fan of city builders since the first SimCity back in the early 90s. I used to play it on my dad's computer. So I've played all the SimCities, 2000, 3000, 4, the new SimCity that's garbage. And then City Skylines is like the perfect city simulation. But it's actually not a great... Nah, let me take that back. It's not a great city simulation. It's a great city builder. So for me, this is an A tier. Everyone's got to play City Skyline. Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, A tier. It's a B tier for me. Counter-Strike Source. This is an A tier for me. I like Source a lot. Crab Game. I know this was popular, but this is an E tier for me. You love SimCity 3000. I love SimCity 3000. It had the best soundtrack. There's lag on the server because the world is not pre-generated. So if people are walking around in the world, they're loading new chunks that have never been loaded before, so the server's generating those. And if a lot of people are doing that at the same time, it causes lag. So Once all the plugins update, will generate the world, and that lag will be eliminated. DayZ. It's been around since the early 2010s, and it's still early access, I think. Or maybe it's not. It's totally unfinished, though, and it didn't deliver on any of its promises. D tier for me. It's a zombie survival game. Don't like it. A or S for SimCity 3000? That's like a... That's like an A tier for me. It's like an A tier. Destiny 2. I played a bit of this. I know people like it, but to me, there are certain games that it does everything right. The combat's good, the graphics are amazing, the story's good. It's like, it does everything right, but it's like I have this overwhelming feeling that I'm wasting my time. And I understand games are a waste of time. That is a given, but I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time when I'm playing a game. Like, to me, a good game is I'm playing it and I don't feel like I'm wasting my time, even though I am. I want to be lied to very well. And Destiny 2 is an E tier for me because it doesn't lie to me good enough. You're just going to keep playing Cookie 2 until Coffee 2 comes out. Yeah, that's a good plan. Destiny was dumb. It's paywalled. Yeah, no, you're right. It's E tier for me. Don't Starve Together. Survival game. I'm going to put it in the C tier because none of my friends will play with me. I've probably played 15 minutes. And so, Doom. Played all the Dooms since the early days. I couldn't get into this game. Everybody loved it. It was supposedly like amazing. Everyone raves about it. I keep trying to play it. I've tried to play on Switch. I've tried to play on PC. And nothing about this game immerses me. It's like monotonous. Nothing grabbed me about this game. It's a D tier for me. And I know that might be sad for some people because they might really like this game. I didn't like Doom. I feel like there's better FPS games. For a Bethesda game, I was impressed, but it didn't like it. Dota 2, I didn't really play this much. I never liked Dota, League of Legends, or anything like that. And that was back... I played Dota back in the Warcraft 3 days. Dota is a Warcraft 3 mod, which Warcraft 3 is an RTS, which is... World of Warcraft is based on Warcraft 3. So I never liked Dota. I never could get into it. I don't understand it. Is that the old Doom? No, this is the new Doom. You grind it for hours and then it ends up being blocked by paywall. I hate that stuff. I'd rather just buy the game and get access to everything. And then, like, I'll pay for cosmetics because I believe in supporting developers because they have to make money. But it's like, I hate when it's sneaky. All right, Dragon Age. C tier for me. I've played this on and off over the years. It's an RPG. Like an American RPG. Like, it's pretty good. Dwarf Fortress. You basically, to play this game, you need to be very proficient in Microsoft Excel. It was this guy and his brother who made this game. I imagine most of you are familiar with Dwarf Fortress, but it's so freaking hard to learn. And even with the graphic overhaul and the menus and GUI, it's a pain in the butt to learn. So I doubt I'll ever learn it because I just don't want another job. It's going to go in the D tier for me. Between D and C because it's an amazing game. I watch people play it all the time. Of course, RimWorld was inspired by Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, so it's like you have dwarves, and it's a colony simulation, and so you have to go and dig in the mountains to survive. And what do dwarves always do? They dig too deep, and basically, you are going to die. Your colony is going to get totally wiped out. But that's the fun of the game. It's like, how long can you survive before you run out of food and you starve to death, or a demon eats you, or a goblin army comes and takes you out, or elves. You get in a war with the elves, or a malaria kills you all. It's like you can die a million ways. And so the whole game is trying to survive as long as you can. It's fun, but hard to learn. I recommend RimWorld because it's easier to learn. Elite Dangerous had big promises when it came out. This game has the whole solar system. So it has the entire Milky Way. And you basically... It's like Euro Truck Simulator, but with spaceships. So you can go to, like, any planet in the Milky Way galaxy, any solar system, any star, and you basically do fetch and gather, resource gathering missions to get money, to get better ships, and then you can do PvP with other players. That's Elite Dangerous. I don't like it. D tier. I love the concept, but I don't like the game. It's D tier for me. This one's sad. EverQuest 2. My first love was EverQuest Online Adventures. It was a MMORPG for the PlayStation 2. I loved it so much. EverQuest 2, I loved it so much when it came out for PC. Because back in the early 2000s, the two giants were EverQuest 2 and World of Warcraft. So, yeah, No Man's Sky is... They're very similar. No Man's Sky is better. So, like, yeah, back in 2004, some of you weren't even a twinkle in your father's eye back then. 2003, 2004, the biggest news in the world with gaming was EverQuest 2 and World of Warcraft. So EverQuest 1 was built in the 90s, and it is the foundation of, like, every MMO today. It had the foundational of, like, what we have today. So EverQuest 2 was coming out, and with updated graphics, like amazing graphics. It had the guy who played Saruman from Lord of the Rings doing the voice acting. In 2004, the entire game was voice acted. And you needed like a beast of a PC in 2004 to run this freaking game. And it was like amazing. They had like technology from Disney and Pixar. Hey, Denizen of Light. Hey, man. Good to see you. Like that kind of technology in this game. So it was mammoth, EverQuest 2. And then there's World of Warcraft, which was basically going to take the concepts of EverQuest, make them more easier to understand for players, and to have like lesser graphics. So it was like a competition between these two games, EQ2 and World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft won because it had lower system requirements, so it was more accessible to like the average gamer. So everyone went to WoW because nobody could run EQ2 on their computer. So EQ2 probably would have won that MMO war if they just would have toned down the graphics, which is kind of hilarious to think about. Yeah, I know. I haven't been on forever, man, over on YouTube. I'm going to start posting more and hopefully live streaming. So anyway, EQ2 for me is like super special, but then a company bought it. It's completely pay to win now. I mean, you have to invest hundreds if you're going to get anywhere in the game. So today, this is like an E tier, but in its prime, it would have been an S. It would have been an S. Fallout 3. Fallout 3. I don't even know if I should put it in the list because I've never played it more than an hour. I've always wanted to love Fallout. I've always loved the idea of it. I watch other people play. The issue is the times I've tried to play Fallout 3 and 4 have been my peak burnout moments of Elder Scrolls games. You have to go back to work, but you're glad to see you. Hope to see another stream. Yes. Yeah, you'll see me. Have fun at work. Have a good day, man. So it's like I've never given Fallout 3 or 4 an honest shot ever. So I can't put it on the list because I still got to play these two games. I didn't like them when I played them. I didn't like them at all. I could never get immersed in them, but I love Morrowind, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, Skyrim. So it's like I should like these games, but I just... What do I do for YouTube career? It's a long story. I love RuneScape, by the way, Sai. Far Cry 3. You know, no one will believe me, but I was probably one of the first people to call this Skyrim with guns. The moment I saw this game, I went on a forum, and I'm like, this is like Skyrim with guns. And I don't know, probably coincidence, but that's basically what it was for its day. Amazing game. Far Cry 3 I think, is the best one in the whole series. It really is. To this day, it stands up. If you've never played a Far Cry game, don't play 4. Don't play 5. I think there's 6 now. I don't even know. Play 3. 3 has the best story and the best gameplay. To me, this is like A tier for sure. This is like A tier. Far Cry 3 is one of my favorites. Far Cry Blood Dragon, it was a spin-off of the Far Cry 3 engine, but it was just like a hilarious like 80s vibe. I don't even know. Like kind of a synthwave type vibe. To me, this is like, it's a solid C tier game. It's going to give you like 8 hours of entertainment. Get it on a sale. You stopped at 3. Yeah, I couldn't do RuneScape 3 in 2020 to get all your skills at... Jeez! You got all your skills to 99. Good night, man. Final Fantasy X. This game brought tears to my eyes. I was 19 and I beat this game and I actually cried at the end. I love Final Fantasy. It's cringy, but this to me is a B tier game. The story's so good. If you can look over the cringy voice acting, it's so good. Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV, it's an MMORPG. Now, I got Final Fantasy XIV when it first came out. Final Fantasy 1.0. And the game was so bad that they had an in-game event where they sent a meteor to just wipe out the whole game. And they shut the servers down. And they spent a year and a half remaking the entire game. And they called it A Realm Reborn, which today it's like the top MMO. I think it's basically rivaling World of Warcraft. If you like MMOs, it's I'm putting it between A and B. It's pretty great. Final Fantasy 14 is great. Final Fantasy 15. I'm halfway through it. It's okay. It's okay. It's not my favorite Final Fantasy. To me, this is like a C tier Final Fantasy for sure. You had no life. You still don't. After you finished the 99, you started playing Minecraft for the first time. Wow. Don't worry. None of us have a life. We're all looking for one of those. Now, none of these I've played, so they're just in my library. Game Maker Studio. I probably have about 10,000 hours in Game Maker. I've created crazy stuff on Game Maker Studios. Gary's Mod, yeah, you gotta play Gary's Mod. You play, it's online, and it's full of modded servers doing crazy stuff. There's life simulations. There's like freaking Star Wars servers where you all role play that you're different Star Wars, like you're in like a Tatooine or whatever. There's a Family Guy. It's kind of like Roblox, but did it way before Roblox. And to me, this is C. It's got to go in the C tier. God of War, I just beat it this year. Freaking God of War, breathtaking. Great story, great combat, great game. I mean, it'd be a crime not to put it in the A tier. It's great. Yeah, I think God of War is, the new one is even better. You haven't played the new one, but you want to. I'm trying to play through the old ones on my Steam Deck. They're pretty great. You've only played Final Fantasy 12, and you always hear 7's the best. If you like Final Fantasy, 7 was the best. I think. 7 and 9 are the two greatest ones. 12 was okay. I couldn't get over the voice acting on 12. And the main character was, it's like, why was he where he was? Like, he made no sense to me. Actually, yeah. 12, I had problems with the story. I couldn't get into it. Grim Dawn, it's an action RPG. It's like Diablo. It's like Path of Exile. It's great. It's more hardcore, more immersive. It's freaking challenging. Man, I'm going to revisit this game. This to me is like a C tier game, but I'm going to replay that, man. I'm going to replay Grim Dawn. Action RPG, but it's like it's pretty well made. Guild Wars 2 got this the week it came out. It's an MMORPG. Now, Guild Wars, it's like if you're into cosmetic stuff, this is the game you want to play. It's really, the end game is kind of great, I think. I'd put this as a B tier MMO. Half-Life Alyx. This is the VR Half-Life game. Pretty amazing. I'd put this B tier. It's probably one of the best VR games. Halo Infinite. I'm not even going to review that. I put 20 minutes into that. Didn't play these. Killstreak TV. It's a game that shut down, but if you want to go on YouTube and look up videos of this game, holy cow. This game was great. Stupid graphics. The graphics were freaking stupid, but it was the most fun FPS I think I've ever played in my life. I'm going to put this for me, for my style of like gaming, it's a B tier. King Arthur's Gold, I have 300 hours on this account. I have like another 400 hours on another account. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I love the developer. He's an indie developer. Every one of you, it's a free-to-play game. You should go download King Arthur's Gold. It's great. It's an amazing game. It's a platformer, and you just... Both teams build a castle. It's kind of like Terraria, but it's in rounds. Each team builds a castle. Each round probably lasts up to 2 hours. And you just build catapults, bombs, and you bomb each other's castle. You invade, and it's a big capture the flag. Modded servers are great. There's even 3D modded servers. So this to me is an A tier game. This is S for me. S tier for me. King Arthur's Gold. Amazing freaking game. Yeah, I highly recommend it. There's a learning curve, but it's freaking awesome. Okay, I'm getting tired now. I might not do all my games. I might go another 10 minutes, and I'm gonna get off. Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah, I mean, what do you say? It's Left 4 Dead 2. It's pretty great. This to me, it's a C tier, but you're in a group of 4 strangers, and you go and you kill zombies. It's fun. Limbo, I haven't played since 2012. This is a D tier for me. It's like a puzzle game. It's alright. I can't believe how many of these games I've just never played. Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man game. This is an A tier. It's up. This is freaking up there with God of War. The story was so good. I can't wait to play the other 2 Spider-Man games. It was as good as watching a Spider-Man movie. So A tier, of course, it's great. Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, B tier for me. One of the best Lord of the Ring games you're gonna play. Monster Hunter World. This was a D tier for me. I know a lot of people like Monster Hunter. I couldn't get into it. Sarge, did you ever get into Terraria much? I've always wanted to get into it, but I've been having a hard time. New World. MMORPG released by Amazon. It's okay. It's a C tier for me. I have nothing to say about it. Old school RuneScape, come on. S tier. Oxygen not included. It's a colony simulation game where you just have a few colonists and it's like a platformer. It's pretty amazing. Well balanced. Graphics are great. It's a lot of fun. If you're into colony simulation games and survival games, it's get it on a sale. It's a C tier for me. Path of Exile, A tier, freaking A tier game. Diablo type game, but it's like an MMO and it's totally free other than cosmetics. It's great. I never really played RuneScape 3, so I don't really have much to say on it. PlanetSide 2, if you're into RTS games, holy cow, man. It's a mammoth game. PlanetSide 2 is huge. You can zoom. Look how close the camera view is. So like you can zoom in this close, but then you can zoom all the way out to like a Google Earth view. It's a pretty amazing game if you're into RTS games. Man, they're not like showing how far you can zoom out. You're going to have like thousands of units on the screen at once. So it's pretty huge. I don't know why the videos aren't showing it, but you basically... Wait, no, not PlanetSide 2. What am I talking about? Never mind. PlanetSide 2 is an FPS. That's why I'm like super confused. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Forget what I just said. All right, I'm going to do a few more. Forget what I just said. PlanetSide. I'm thinking of another game. I'm thinking of Supreme Commander for some reason. Okay, Project Zomboid. This is the last one I'll do. Oh yeah, and then I'll do Red Dead. Project Zomboid. It's a zombie survival game. I like it. It's pretty amazing. It's made by like 2 guys over in Sweden. And if you're into survival games, this is probably the best zombie survival game you're ever going to play. And there is online, so there's servers. Overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, well deserved. I've played the crap out of this. You're literally in a town surviving. It's just you. With zombies everywhere, looting houses, police stations, trying to survive. It's an amazing simulation. Build a base, tons of skills to learn. It's like a must-play A-tier game. Must play. Red Dead 2. I liked it, but I didn't get addicted to it like I do Grand Theft Auto games. To me, Red Dead, it's like in between A and B. I was actually just playing it the other day, but then RimWorld, this is an S for me. Red Dead 2 makes you cry. Why? RimWorld's my favorite game of all time, other than Chrono Trigger. It's a colony simulation survival game. It's kind of like Dwarf Fortress, just you and a few other colonists. And the whole game is basically seeing how long you can survive until you die from a raid or disease or starvation. Or your colonists can have a mental breakdown if their needs aren't getting met. So I had a colony, and one of my colonists was the only gay colonist, and all my other colonists were straight. And he desperately fell in love with the leader of the colonists, and so he went up to this guy to flirt with him, but that guy was like straight. And so when he went to flirt with him, it didn't go well. Now, you got to mind you, this guy was like already on the brink of having a mental breakdown because he got attacked by a cougar and he lost his toes and he lost like his pinky finger. So he's already depressed about that. And he has like scars and he's in pain all the time. And he's like on a planet, doesn't know where he's at. So anyway, he goes and flirts with the leader of our colony who's straight. And has a freaking mental breakdown after that. Like that was the last straw. And he was also a pyromaniac. So when he snapped, he went to that guy's bedroom who he flirted with and caught the bedroom on fire. Well, the whole base was built out of wood. So his wooden bed catches a flame, the dresser catches on fire, the whole room catches on fire, he catches on fire, so he's running around on fire, and the whole base ends up burning down. Our other colonist was asleep in their bedroom, they catch on fire and die, and that's how my colony ended, was just everybody burned to death. Because, rejection, man, Anyway, A-tier game, I love it. It's like a story, generator / survival simulator. Shadow of War is 45 gigabytes. Gonna take a bit to download. It's worth it though, man. Shadow of War is amazing. I love that game. Rise of Nation is my favorite RTS game. It was made by Microsoft back in the day. It's like Civilization and Age of Empires had a baby. It really is. It's so good. Rise of Nations is so good. It's A tier for me. Freaking A tier for me. Rocket League. This was kind of a niche game. It had a good run. I think people still play it. For me, this was like a B tier game. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Man, I played the crap out of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 back in the day, in the early 2000s. 3's okay. 3's like a C tier for me. RuneScape 3. Okay, Sai, here we go. I only have 40 minutes into it. But just because I know that you'd get upset if I put it any lower, I'm gonna put it on a B to C tier for me. I think I'd like RuneScape, if the new one, if I really got into it. I bet I'd probably really like it a lot. Rust, to me, is an A tier. Survival game. It's like Ark. We've already talked about it. It's an A tier for me. I could tell you so many stories about Rust. It's not even funny. All right, let's see if I can just finish it, and then I'll get off here. Civilization 5. Someone gave me a game called Shower with Your Dad's Simulator 2015. It's a very weird game. Civilization 5. I like this one more than 6, and I liked it more than all the other ones. Civilization 5, it's turn-based strategy game, if you didn't know. Everything's in these hectagons, but don't let that deter you from this game. Overwhelmingly positive reviews. Everything is done and executed flawlessly on Civilization 5. You're like, the bots are pretty good, and you're having like actual diplomacy with other nations. It's pretty sweet. It's kind of an amazing game. To me, this is like A tier. It's one of those games that you're like, okay, one more turn and then I'm done. Then I'm getting off here. I freaking love Civ 5. SimCity 4. The last good SimCity. Probably the best city simulation, not the best city builder. B tier. Soldat. A tier. For me. It's free to play. Always been free to play. I've played it since the early 2000s. It's a platformer. It doesn't really hold up today as well. But it's a platformer game. It's just like Capture the Flag, made by the same guy who made King Arthur's Gold. And it's amazing. It's kind of like Counter-Strike meets a platforming game. It's like Worms, if you ever played that game, meets Counter-Strike, meets a Nintendo game. The physics are so good. The way the character moves, it's not like some sprite walking around. It's like the legs are their own entity, the arms are their own thing. Everything's great. Physics, gameplay. It's free. You have nothing to lose. It came out in 2002. I've played since 2003. Love this game. A tier. Actually, no. This is an S tier. That means a lot to me. See ya, Noah. Soldat 2. This is a sequel to Soldat that you have to pay for, and Soldat 2 is like an F tier. Soldat 2 is awful. I don't recommend buying it. Space Engineers. It's like Minecraft meets Kerbal Space Program. You literally mine resources, survive, and build freaking vehicles. I mean, rovers, spaceships, space shuttles. You can go into orbit, go to other planets. Kind of like No Man's Sky, but like it's more of a sandbox engineering type game. You are engineering vehicles. So, you're trying to get things into space. No, Worms is like an old school game. I don't even know how to describe Worms. It's like old, back in the 90s. So Space Engineers 2 is amazing. I highly recommend. It's worth buying if you have Adderall. A tier. Starbound. It's like Terraria, but with space. And you have a spaceship, you go to other planets. I think obviously procedurally generated. It's like Terraria, but huge. And like if you get burnt out on Terraria, you need to go to Spacebound. Because it's something fresh, something new. It's pretty great. If you like Terraria, you're just going to like Starbound. That's in the B tier for me. Stardew Valley. I never liked Stardew Valley. I've given it so many chances, and I never... Yes, Sergeant, you're right about Worms. I've given Stardew so many chances, it seems like the kind of game I should like. But again, it goes back to the beginning of the stream. It's like, if I'm aware I'm wasting my time, I'm not going to like the game. And that's how I feel here. To me, Stardew's... I'm going to put it in the C tier because it deserves better. So, for me. Stronghold Crusader is an A tier game for me. I'm sorry, S tier for me. Addicted from my childhood. Came out in like 2001. It's a actually I've been playing it this week. It's like, okay, so you have Age of Empires, right? It's like a strategy, real-time strategy, but this game, it has all of that RTS elements, but you're building a freaking castle and you're managing your citizens and you build an economy and you have to keep your people happy and manage taxes and have a castle while fighting the other people doing the same exact thing. I love Stronghold Crusaders. Overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. It's so good. It's one of my favorites. Stronghold Crusaders, S for me. Stronghold 2 is the sequel that I've been trying to play again. But dang, it's rough. It's like a C tier. Supreme Commander is the game I got confused about earlier that I was like PlanetSide 2, but it's Supreme Commander. It's like an RTS, but you have thousands of units on the screen. And if you like large scale RTS games, it's okay. It's like it's a C to D tier because it's so old. And Tabletop Simulator, amazing, especially if you have a VR headset. Everything you want. Listen to me now. Everything you want is on Tabletop Simulator. Chess, checkers, Magic the Gathering, euchre, Pokemon. I mean, everything is on this. There's so many mods. There's so many people playing. Everything's possible. Every board game, Catan or Settlers of Catan, Monopoly, The Game of Life, Dungeons and Dragons, everything is on Tabletop Simulator. So it's like puzzles. You can make that. You can do whatever this is. Putt golf. It's freaking amazing. It's an A tier game that most people don't even know about. Team Fortress 2, B tier. Oh no, wait. Come on, get in the B tier. Terraria, C tier for me. Morrowind, before there was Skyrim, there's freaking Morrowind. The best Elder Scrolls. It has so much depth. So much depth. Like even soul gems in Morrowind. A soul gem contained the soul of a creature you killed. So you could go literally kill a god in the game, take its soul, and power boots that, like, when you run, it also gives you stamina and freaking makes you levitate or something. I mean, it's so good. It's such a good game. The story's good, the depth's good. The only thing that's not good is the combat, but this is A tier. Oblivion, just as good. A tier. Skyrim, F tier. No, Skyrim, Skyrim's good. It's in B tier. You can see all my versions of Skyrim. All right, I think that's all I have in me. Yeah, I'll just do the last game. Witcher 3, A. Freaking no, that's S tier. Witcher 3 is amazing. Valheim, B tier for me. Yakuza Like a Dragon, B tier. The rest of the games, oh yeah, Vampire Survivors, that's an A tier game. The rest of these, I don't even know what these are. Transformice is pretty cool. That's like a B tier game for me. Titanfall 2, it's like a C tier. All right, that's it. I went through all my games. I'm done. I'm freaking done. That was so much work. That was way more work than I thought it was going to be. All right, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I think that's it. There's my list of all my Steam games. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to revisit Ark Survival. Let's see the games I'm going to revisit. I think Ark Survival is going to be revisited for me, wherever I put it. Um, man, there's no other game I really want to play from that list. I'm sick of all of those games. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm happy with this list. I think that sums up how I feel. All right, thanks for hanging out. I think I'm done.